Hey Ryan, great question. So first, how did the Homestead Act affect Native Americans and their land? So by 1862, most Native Americans lived on reservations because of the Trail of Tears in the 1830s and 40s, which moved about 60,000 Native Americans off of American land onto Indian reservations. And there wasn't a huge reduction of Native American lands because of the Homestead Act specifically, but about 20 years after the Homestead Act, Senator Henry Dawes helped pass the Dawes Act, which was basically the Homestead Act, but for Native Americans. So the idea was that they could claim 160 acres or 360 acres of grazing land for basically their reservations, which sounds cool, but there was some issues with that. So first, it wasn't the land that they were being given wasn't very good for farming, and so it was kind of useless land. And then second, and more importantly, the lands that they were being allotted were already reservation lands. So any land that wasn't claimed by Native Americans was no longer reservation land and was given back to the basically given back to the American government and then given out to Americans. So from 1887 to 1934, Native American lands actually decreased 65% from 138 million acres to just 48 million acres. So we kind of screwed the Native Americans, which I think is kind of a common theme throughout American history. And then second, why did the American government want people to move west? So I don't think it was necessarily just the government. I think it was also just kind of the American sentiment at the time. I know Thomas Jefferson was a big proponent of the idea that owning land and moving westward was kind of what he thought of as freedom and being able to have economic opportunities and things like that. That's why a lot of people were already moving west at the time. People were already using the Oregon Trail in the 1840s to move westward, so it wasn't necessarily a new idea. But I think the Homestead Act specifically was kind of just allowing American people the ability, the financial ability to be able to move out there, or I think that was the sentiment behind it, so they didn't have to go buy the land, they could just go take it. And I think Manifest Destiny also played a role in westward expansion, kind of obviously, but this idea that it's our God-given duty that we need to go expand and spread out across the lands that we own. I think that's why I think there was a push just among American people, and then I think the American government more supported it than necessarily promoted it, if that makes sense. Thanks.